For John, the battle did not end when he left the front lines. This is the untold story of John, broken beyond battle. John was a soldier who answered his country's call with courage and honor. He faced dangers that few can imagine, navigating the chaos and violence of war. But when the fighting stopped and he returned home, the most persistent enemy remained unseen, the invisible wounds etched deep within his mind. This is not just John's story. It represents thousands of veterans, many suffering in silence from post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. These invisible scars often go unrecognized, misunderstood, and untreated, leaving individuals like John trapped in relentless nightmares and overwhelming isolation. If you're watching this, pause and imagine the weight of John's days and nights, the flashbacks that strike without warning, the sounds and sights that haunt memories, and the struggle to reconnect with a world that seems both familiar and alien. Immediate signs of PTSD can look subtle yet are profoundly disruptive. Veterans might experience sudden anxiety, emotional numbing, or persistent feelings of danger despite being far from the battlefield. For John, these symptoms began shortly after returning home, restless nights filled with violent dreams, startling wakefulness, and a deep, growing sense of detachment from loved ones. John's behavior changed gradually but unmistakably. Once a sociable and dependable friend, he withdrew into himself. He found everyday interactions exhausting and often avoided crowds or loud environments. Small triggers could ignite overwhelming panic or anger. Over time, John's world shrank to the walls of isolation, leaving his family bewildered and desperate. Friends and family sometimes mistake these reactions for simple irritability, stubbornness, or even laziness. Yet, denying the true nature of John's suffering prevents understanding and healing. It is critical to recognize that these are not character flaws, but symptoms of a serious psychological condition. Despite these challenges, John sought help, though the path was far from easy. His first attempts to talk about his experiences were met with inattentiveness or discomfort. Mental health stigma created a barrier, making veterans reluctant to seek the support they urgently need. However, numerous studies and case histories reveal that with early intervention and specialized care, many veterans improve dramatically. John's story is a testament to the importance of mental health resources tailored to those who serve. From cognitive behavioral therapy to peer support groups, evidence-based treatments can offer hope, recovery, and a renewed sense of purpose. Throughout history, the psychological toll of war has been overlooked or minimized. For decades, veterans returned home bearing invisible wounds. Only recently has society begun acknowledging that the scars left by combat extend beyond the body. Compounding the problem are systemic issues, underfunded VA programs, limited access to care, and social stigma that discourage open dialogue about mental health. This neglect perpetuates a cycle of suffering and contributes to alarming rates of veteran suicide and homelessness. Breaking this cycle requires a collective commitment to understanding and action. Veterans like John deserve more than gratitude. They need tangible support, accessible therapy, community reintegration programs, and widespread public empathy. By sharing John's story, we hope to illuminate the silent aftermath of war. Every viewer becomes a witness and a potential agent of change. Together, we must confront the invisible wounds of combat and ensure no veteran endures this battle alone. If you or someone you know is struggling, reach out. Help is available. Let us honor the sacrifices of our veterans by standing beside them in their fight for mental wellness. This is more than a story, it's a call to action. Thank you for joining us to shed light on the untold story of John, broken beyond battle. For support, resources, and more information, please visit the links provided below. The fight against invisible wounds continues, and together, we can be the difference.